This medieval weapon wasn't designed to kill you. It was designed to catch you alive. Once it closed around your body, you weren't a fighter anymore. You were property. Medieval warfare wasn't just about defeating enemies on a battlefield. It was about controlling people, inside cities, behind walls, and after the fighting was over. Rulers didn't just fear invading armies, they feared uprisings, riots, and rebellion. Killing was easy. Controlling the living was not. And that's why the Middle Ages created a weapon designed not to kill, but to capture. It was called the man-catcher. At first glance, it doesn't even look like a weapon. No blade, no edge, no obvious way to kill. The man-catcher was a long wooden pole topped with a metal frame, curved, reinforced, and often lined with inward-facing spikes. Its purpose wasn't to strike, it was to close, to lock, and to hold. Once the metal arms snapped around a person's neck, chest, or torso, movement became almost impossible. The victim couldn't reach the attacker, couldn't run, couldn't fight back. With a single push, they could be slammed against a wall, dragged to the ground, or pinned in place, alive, conscious, and completely helpless. This weapon wasn't carried by knights seeking glory. It belonged to authority. The people who used it were city guards, castle wardens, and forces sent to crush unrest. And its targets were rarely enemy soldiers. They were peasants, rebels, rioters, and anyone the ruling class wanted taken alive. In crowded streets and narrow alleys, swords were dangerous to everyone. But the man-catcher allowed guards to single out one person, isolate them, and remove them from the crowd. Not as a hero, not as a martyr, but as a warning. In the Middle Ages, death was often quick. Capture was not. Being taken alive meant uncertainty, interrogation, imprisonment, public punishment. Sometimes execution, sometimes something worse. When the man-catcher closed around a person, everyone watching understood one thing immediately. This wasn't the end. It was the beginning of suffering. That fear, slow, visible, unavoidable, was exactly what this weapon was meant to create. The man-catcher wasn't meant for open battlefields, but it did appear in combat, during sieges, inside castles, and in narrow streets where space was limited. There, it served one purpose: to pull a single enemy out of the fight, knock them off balance, and take them alive. Not a weapon of victory, but a weapon of control, used when killing wasn't the goal. Medieval history celebrates swords and knights, weapons of honor, weapons of glory. But this wasn't one of them. The man-catcher had no legends written about it, no songs, no heroes, because it revealed an uncomfortable truth. Power in the Middle Ages wasn't maintained by courage, but by fear. And tools like this were never meant to be remembered. They were meant to work quietly and disappear. The man-catcher wasn't built to end lives. It was built to end resistance, to turn a person into a prisoner, a warning, an example. In a world of blades and blood, this weapon chose a different path. It didn't kill the body. It captured the human being. If you know any other forgotten medieval weapons, leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, we'd really appreciate your like and subscription. It helps the channel more than you think.